log into your account, you'll be able to access them all automatically from the spreadsheet.
And JavaScript has a nice way of, you can send it a string and it'll interpret it right then and there. So while you're writing your spreadsheet, you can pull up a second window and make new functions. And then without having to refresh the page, you can use those functions that you wrote. And you can be like, oh no, this just broke my entire program. The entire thing is dead. I'm going to go kill myself. All right, so square root plus 1 val. All right, so save this. All right, and go back to the spreadsheet.
Which is here?
Yeah. Now try and, oh, you gotta have to refresh the page because I haven't actually implemented that thing that I just said I was going to implement. So click on something and hit equals and then math dot your function name.
What should we do?
4? 4?
Yep.
Oh no. So this is another feature that I've implemented, whereas if it tries to do something that it's unable to do, it'll freeze.
I think it might not like you using those.
Is it?
It doesn't take
the
a...
math library.
Probably not.
Oh, the math needed to be capitalized?
Yeah.
Did you write
is
the
it?
function wrong?
I probably did.
I hate you now. You ruined my demonstration.
Sorry.
That's alright, I'll
He
forgive
changed
you.
it to something easy.
You need an equal sign, or else it's not going to parse it as an equation. Yes. So anybody can write these functions. Like, it wasn't that hard. I mean, okay, it was a little bit
I
harder
just
than it
didn't
should have
remember
been.
my library.
But it wasn't that hard. So one of the things that I was hoping for this meeting to accomplish is that anybody who wants to can write their own functions and help us accomplish our monstrosity of a project, because it's ginormous. Anytime you want to send us a function, you can either email it to us, but I don't have an email set up. You can send it to anybody. I don't know, send it to Santa Claus and he'll give it to us. Or you can fork our repo and add new functions to the file yourself, and then we'll merge them into our main repo, which is probably the better way to do it. Then you can claim credit on your commits, and it's very nice and organized. Want to go back to the slideshow? Thank you, Zach. You can sit down now.
Because I'm cool still.
It's
Wow,
the-
I just got back to the
It's
same
like the
thing.
Kirby E thing.
Okay.
Is it?
How do I make it go full?
Hit F11 and then you hit start presentation. Alright.
Want me to go past that?
Yeah, sorry.
Do you want to talk about the future features?
Well, okay, I'll talk about the ones I'm at. So I already kind of went over user file storage and loading and saving is kind of like one thing, just want to implement that with the spreadsheets and the documents as well as their functions that they've written. One of the ideas I came up with was the command line function calls. Sort of a command line function call, I don't know really how to describe it. Is he's got like the function bar at the top that you can write in, you have to click on a cell. So I wanted to have like another, I almost call it a command prompt, like on the side that you could be able to call an entire row and run a function on that, but you wouldn't have to do it within a cell, so it wouldn't be so difficult. So you maybe could say like row 19 equals, you know, my function row 20, and then it'll automatically put that in, and you wouldn't have to like go into each cell and do that. So that's something we're hopefully going to implement. Next one's yours.
Loading and saving is...
This one.
No? Okay, I can't. Relative cell positions and copies.
I have a question on
Yes.
that. In the back end, you should also worry about the multiple edits and so on. Maybe I asked the same
Multiple
question.
what?
Multiple edits. So this is, you're going to give a replacement for Google spreadsheet, right?
Right.
Yes.
So
You're talking
you're-
about multiple people editing the same document at
Right,
once?
right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Over the summer, I wrote an application that allowed you to manage servers.
Okay.
It used a rapid AJAX protocol to commit or to send changes quickly to all the users that are viewing the servers. We're going to use a very similar method so that any user who's connected to a document, if there's more than one user connected to the same document, it uses that same rapid AJAX protocol in order to update all the users on what's going on. So yeah, relative cell positions when copying cells. If anybody's used Excel or almost any other spreadsheet method, whenever you copy a cell and it references a second cell, so if you copy a cell and you move it down one, it'll reference the same relative cell, not the same cell, which is really useful if you have a long list of data and then you have one function that you want to apply to all the data and you want to copy it all the way down. If you don't want to use that relative cell copying stuff, you don't copy the cell, but you copy the text inside the cell, and that'll just copy the exact function and it won't copy the cell exactly. Yeah?
You can pre-print dollar sign and it.
Yeah, I was about to ask.
Yeah, it does that. It'll do absolute.
It'll do absolute.
If you,
Well, that's the behavior in Excel, so you could,
That's something that could easily be implemented as well.
because that allows you to actually do a combination of both. Because you can say $sign on the column, but you
So you
know,
have like one
leave the
value,
row.
like I want to add this value to all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's something that could easily be added. Thanks for the idea.
So next one is beautification. So pretty much everything about this project is ugly so far in graphic terms. So hopefully I think my logo is beautiful, but so I made that. So I'm gonna hopefully just make some more like menu stuff and like when you log in right now, it's a one screen that says like login, password, registers like cute password feels like your phone number or something. It's really ugly. So that'll be in the future.
Like I said earlier, we need better equations to go with just the default spreadsheet. We have those 5 now, thanks to Zach.
Yeah.
We have 4.
The one that returns a sad face.
Might want to rename that
We'll
one.
probably rename that one, but we're just going to sip it as like math.zachclapper.
Go for it. Change the smiley face.
And as Beth was saying earlier about having the sidebar that you can say all of row 20, change a single value, we need better ways to manipulate arrays. Like if you want to have a set of values and then you want to have a set of those values sorted.
Yeah, I thought that was really helpful because like I feel like a lot of times people put all their data into a spreadsheet and then want to run a function on like the entire matrix, so that you'll be able to do that really easily through this sidebar.
So yeah, we'd like to thank Arcos, Morthy, Zach, and Sean O'Sullivan. Are there any other questions? Yes.
Have you implemented any behavior for if you were to multiply unlike data types, like a string and a number?
No, that right now just uses whatever JavaScript's default try and multiply a string by a number function
Or it's
is,
just going to return what you wrote.
which I'm pretty sure it returns not a number or just a string. I have no idea. Colin, what does it return?
Sorry?
What do you get if you multiply a string by an integer in
Which
JavaScript?
one is it?
As if the string can be turned into
Something.
Doesn't matter exactly
Is it
what.
about, so you're using JavaScript, so it's about operations. Oh, that's in the end,
Oh.
what is number?
Not a number.
Oh, this was something else
Unless the
funny too.
string looks number-like.
Oh.
Oh no, it doesn't. You changed that.
No, equals.
Oh,
Got the
equals. Okay.
We can divide by 0. It's awesome.
We had an argument over whether we need to change that.
Okay, yeah. So going on the idea, it doesn't actually use JavaScript's methods to analyze all the functions. What it does is it has 3 functions. One that deals with adding and subtraction, one that deals with multiplication, division, and one that deals with all of the atoms that it returns from there. First it goes through addition, subtraction, breaks them up, passes all those to multiplication, division, break those up, passes them to the atoms. If it's encapsulated in parentheses, it does everything again. If it's not, it figures out if it's a cell, if it's a function, if it's a number or a string, returns that value, and then proceeds back up until it's gotten a value.
Okay, one more question and then we have to move to the next speaker. Any other questions?
Just trying to be clear.
Yeah, Matt?
Yes.
So, do you get negative infinity if you divide like -2 by 0?
Yeah! I like this. Any other questions? All right. Thank you.